How's up, y'all? I was popping about to react to this Jubilee video. This is interracial couples agree or disagree. Is it okay to have a preference of race? Alright, we're about to get spicy. We're gonna see what they gotta say. Please excuse the water noises. My garden is being watered right now, but it'll only be watered for the next few minutes and then it'll stop. Hopefully it's not too distracting. Anyway, let's watch.
The freak stuff in the bedroom. If race sprinkles is put into that context, what do we think of that? Like
how would race be put into the bedroom?
Use your imagination.
Nah, nigga, what you talking about? We need clarification. I don't know what he means. I mean, I have an idea, but he needs to get specific.
I have unintentionally been racist towards my
Ooh!
3, 2.
Listen, I'll talk about my opinions at the end, but
I've definitely been ignorant.
oh,
So we were.
that's enough to get your head knocked the fuck off.
So we had an argument, and I was upset, and I had previously expressed how the stereotype or the stigma on angry black men or angry black women and how that makes me feel. And so we got into an argument. I was an angry black man.
Oh!
But in that moment of anger, he actually called me an angry black man, which
is like the worst thing.
made me go crazy because that was like the one thing, and I was like talking to him about. So that was a really bad fight. And
Nigga, that would be a really bad breakup. Hold up, I can't hold this in to the end. I don't know. Some things are just fucking deal breakers, and honestly, that is one of the reasons why I have not dated. I have a few reasons, but that is one of the reasons why I have not dated someone of another race. I have dated mixed people, but mixed people who identify as black. And you got me fucked up. If we get into it and you like, nigga, first off, we fighting, and then I never want to see your fucking face in my life. Like, how do you get... I don't know, that pain runs too deep. That's too sensitive for you to fucking play with me like that, and you supposedly loving me. Like, why would you even go there? Like, I could not fuck with you after that. I don't get how people do these things and move on. Look at his big Kool-Aid smile, acting like that's your business.
I mean,
whatever.
I'm strongly disagree, but I think as just a white person, I am just inherently ignorant. So I think I'm gonna somewhat agree. Dating a black man has completely opened my eyes more than I already thought they were open.
To be fair, you've never said anything that made me feel like, damn, she's racist.
I'm from the Bay, so
Hey.
it used to be in my vocabulary where I would say the N-word with the A. I would rap it. I would
With
do
the-
just those things, but my slang in general would just tick her off. And then I became conscious of it, and I really liked her, or I still do, of course. I love you. I started changing the way I speak. I feel like she should be over here too. She would do Asian accents.
Girl, not you not being
Time
honest.
that I feel like I could be offending Asian people is when I'm mocking you when you're mocking your mother. So I only do the accent when he does it, making fun of his mom. Before that, I never did that.
No, that ain't no good
Yeah,
reason.
so
I
here's
see.
something different. This is
That's
called
him doing that. That's his mama.
And basically, we let our audience submit hot takes and assumptions that they make about interracial relationships.
I ain't never seen this. Y'all do some new shit when it comes to race.
Sex gets steamy since you are interracial.
What? That's weird.
I mean, I think it adds to.
I like the differences.
Nah, y'all on some race play shit. If just because you are an interracial couple, that's making it more aggressive and more steamy, why does that play a factor? That's weird.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's not like any weird role play or anything.
No, it's weird.
But yeah, it definitely, makes it fun.
Ooh, you white, so yeah, come over here, you white motherfucker. Like, who's doing that? That's weird. Okay, let me just
when
go
I'm
to
out with you, people will be like, oh, like I know why you're with the black guy, and it's like that's like super disrespectful because it's like that's like definitely like on the line of like
That ain't what we talking about.
like,
Right.
a race.
there's not many sexual stereotypes about white men. But like walking down the street, especially dating an Asian woman, like I get looks from men all the time. And like,
That ain't what we talking about.
you know, right? And like people like actually like calling me out while I'm right next to her.
Interracial relationships can be a fetish, and that's okay if it's love too.
That is not okay. Oh my god. No.
Even if you love the person, you just fetishizing that person is
You'll get
good at all.
devalued.
Yeah, and you're devaluing the entire community itself.
I
I
don't
think
like
there's
that.
always room for growth, so I can understand if it starts as a fetish and then along, you know, the relationship, they actually fall in love with that person and they realize that, okay, it wasn't okay for me to initially
fuck that.
dislike you based off of that.
If it's between two consenting adults, the freak stuff in the bedroom, if race sprinkles is put into that context,
No.
what do we think of that? Like,
That's
it's
terrible.
just in the bedroom, or is it like
Now I got better clarification. This ain't what I thought initially. This ain't what I thought initially. I didn't think he was talking about this. But now that we got context, nah, he basically saying like, oh, is it okay to use like racist terms in the bedroom? Is that alright? No, it's not.
It's cool to just keep it in
Four
the
eyes.
bedroom?
How would race be put into
I used to wear
that?
glasses.
Use your
You never wear
imagination.
glasses.
It doesn't even matter if you're consenting or not, it's still wrong.
Yeah, that's
Right?
wrong.
Like you want to say that stuff, you want to do that stuff because of the stereotypes you have of those people.
Yeah,
And
look
that
at
doesn't really sit right with me whatsoever.
Speak on it.
I have always wanted mixed babies. 3, 2, 1.
Tell the
go.
truth. Look, he being honest. I respect my
But
brother
at
for
one point
being
in my life,
honest.
I kind of
though.
wanted to have mixed babies with almost
But
every
no.
race. I don't know if that's weird. But I just wanted, I'm real into genetics. I would like to see how my kids will turn out in every race.
As a mixed race person myself, you don't have a group of people to really be around. I mean, sometimes you connect with one side, sometimes you connect with the other side. But for me, it sucked actually a lot.
I got
I've
a story
accepted
about this
myself.
at the end.
I'm black and proud. I love the fact that I have both of these cultures, and I really don't care. I just have to teach my kids that because of your skin tone, you either gain privileges or lose privileges.
Like, I've had people at work, like,
I like
will be talking about themselves, and I'll show them a picture of Ivan, and they'll be like, oh my god, I totally wanted black babies, like, when I was, like, a teenager. And it's just like, this isn't Build-A-Bear, like, this isn't human, like, so.
I'm gonna actually have an 8-year-old mixed child. It's been very challenging, but I've had to stick it out because I want to be a good father and I care about my kid. So
this isn't Build-A-Bear, this is real life. And in my mind, I wanted to have kids that was exactly my skin tone or very close to it and look like me, because I am conceited as well. Where the hell I'm gonna find somebody to do that and it work out and they're just a perfect wife? I don't believe in that anymore.
It's funny because that was actually something we talked about when we first started dating. That became an insecurity of mine. I was like, so why are we dating? Because I cannot provide absolutely any of that for you. And so I understand, like I said, why he
It's not
feels
wrong
that way,
with
why a
little chocolate
lot of
babies.
the black community feels that way. So I'm just glad that I'm accepted now in a relationship for that.
I sometimes feel like I betrayed my own.
That getting deep.
3, 2, 1, go.
I don't think I would feel like that if I was in an relationship. Look, all the black people coming.
I definitely feel like that, man. I feel like, especially where I'm from, I did my people a disservice by playing into that stereotype. And knowing what I stand for now, it's hard for me to feel like I'm going to be taken serious in the future if I ever want to speak on controversial topics. My people won't respect what I say because, like, it doesn't add up, my views and stuff.
That's
and then
okay.
I'm dating somebody outside of my race behind the scenes. I feel like I lose respect in a way.
That's a
Me
fact.
growing up, like, I was never always seen as black, whether it was because of how I looked, how I talked, or my culture. But then when I get with someone who's not black, right, they're like, oh, you're betraying us. Oh, like, I get comments literally in my DMs, they're like, oh, Alex, you're not with us no more, right?
So I think I wasn't with y'all to begin
Do
it.
you want me or do you not want me, you know? It doesn't bother me if you don't want me, and I understand it is what it is, but don't pick and choose and don't nitpick little things, right? If you want me to be part of your community, then accept me for who I am. Don't say that because I'm half, I don't get to participate in
He got
certain topics or
resentment.
certain discussions.
Yeah,
Being linked to another race has its benefits. 3, 2, 1.
Like what?
Go.
What benefits y'all?
I guess I feel like the word like linked kind of confused me because I feel like experiencing another person's experience, like what their culture, like the way that they live, is definitely personally beneficial. But I think that like in terms of how others view me because I'm dating a white man, I don't find that.
Yeah, that's
beneficial.
how
I
I'm
feel
taking
like
the
people
question.
might have like preconception about who I am because I'm an Asian
dating.
person who's chosen to date a white man. Yeah, I had a question for I guess other people. Like, do you ever feel like being with a white person like could shield you from like discrimination, or like that they could like stand up for you in a certain context? Like if you were in like an altercation
He ain't gonna
with
do shit.
the police or something. Like,
He just
what kind
told
of
us
person
how-
they're, like,
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
How
And that's what I kind of thought of when I heard the question and I was listening to you. It's just like, I don't know, even a customer service experience. I don't know, just random experiences where the person on the other side might.
Or it could go the other way. It could go that they have resentment and they're looking at you like, what is one of my people doing with you, the likes of you? And then they get mad at both of y'all. That can happen too. I've seen that on movies.
Judge
But
me
that
based
could
on
occur in someone's
me
head.
being black, but versus someone else calling, or him calling, and it's a whole different experience. So they might treat us individuals differently. So there might be a whole different experience based on just that.
That's
I
sad.
feel like an outsider with my partner's family. 3, 2,
Be honest.
1, go.
Of course, the black people will be
So,
over
I'm
there.
sorry, Grace. In our lives, especially today, recently, politics plays such a huge part in it. And because you come from a conservative household, it does, that's different from where I come from. And it does make me a little bit uncomfortable to know that I'm going to be meeting people and have to have close relationships with them, and they don't value what I feel like I value in my life.
He's actually the first black man I have ever dated and the only person of color within like my family just in of itself. And so certain members of my family with the same political values as us like had to kind of confide in me like, hey, we support you with whoever you date, like we're here for you. So it was interesting to kind of see the different sides of my family members that I didn't necessarily know.
When I met her father for the first time, we were walking to get food, and we saw the Ronald Reagan Museum or something like that. And he was like, oh yeah, I love Ronald Reagan, right? And you can have your own personal opinions on presidents, but Ronald Reagan was like, he's like the main reason why black people are incarcerated. He's not a very good person to black people. So I was just kind of cracking up about that, and I was kind of awkward, and I know you kind of made your tongue for that as well.
It's hard to not say anything.
But I was thinking about saying something that made me like be like, oh, I don't know about that, but I didn't want to like argue with your father on the very first
Yeah,
date.
that's her daddy.
Yeah, that wouldn't be very fun.
But I don't give a fuck.
I don't know if I can exactly truly connect with him because of that. He's a very nice person, obviously, and he makes me feel comfortable, but at the same time I have to recognize who I am as a person.
I would say I somewhat agree because with my partner's family, there's a language barrier. So I guess it's my responsibility now to try to learn the language, but sometimes when we're together, they're talking, I have no idea what's going on. So I think that's a bit of why I feel like an outsider, but other than that, I feel welcomed.
I wish we were the same race. 3, 2, 1, go.
I'll start. I feel like that would just be the default easiest way to navigate through life. But definitely, obviously, growth happens when you're in relationships. But yeah, that's kind of why I chose someone agreed.
Yeah, I guess it, like you were saying, like I just feel like it would be easier in some aspects, and then for me, just like being mixed race, I have felt very like disconnected from my culture, so I feel like dating someone who was like Chilean or who was Korean would help me. But I also agree, like obviously if you weren't white, you wouldn't be like you, and so I don't like wish that. And
The benefits outweigh like what I gain. It kind of sounds weird coming out because it's like, what do you guys get out of dating white people?
I think it's interesting that everyone's saying that they feel it's easier, because I feel like it would be more difficult, me having a black man and raising a black family, that it would be more difficult if I was maybe with someone who was white, who could probably have benefits in other ways. I'm grateful for my husband, and I love being with him. And I think there's a lot of benefits, just culturally.
And you guys, that is officially a wrap.
Wow, this was a really interesting video. It was cool hearing their different perspectives on their experiences dating people of a different race. But yeah, I don't think I could personally do it, to be totally honest. There are so many issues. Like, I just personally don't think it's worth it. I just rather, stick to my people. I'm sorry. I dated this guy who was half black and half white. He was so fucked up in the head. It was ridiculous. Because his white side of his family treated him terribly growing up. And his situation was especially fucked up because his mom, she got with a black dude, had him. His mom was white. Got with a black dude, had him. And then she wasn't with his dad anymore. Ended up marrying a white man and went on to have full white kids. So he was the only mixed race person in his family, and his dad wasn't in his life. So he was just completely submerged in whiteness growing up, and he looked black for the most part. I mean, you could tell it was like something mixed in there, but for the most part, he looked black. Like J. Cole. J. Cole looks like a light-skinned black dude. He kind of looked like that. And yeah, he had a really bad experience. I heard so many terrible stories about, him growing up and the white side just not accepting him and showing favoritism with his full white siblings. And it really did a number on him. That's why I had to go. I had to peace out because good luck, brother. All the best. Get some therapy, but I can't deal with this because you crazy as shit. So yeah, that's just one issue. Having a child and having them be, subjected to all of these possibly racist, family members. Because let's be real, the chances of people in their family being racist are extremely high. For the most part, people might accept, your mixed race child, but there's gonna be somebody, whether it's like an old grandma and people trying to be like, oh, she don't know better, back in her day things are different, whoever the fuck it is, or an uncle, whoever, it's gonna be somebody who on some bullshit. So it's like, do I want to go to jail and fight somebody because they said some slick shit to me? Do I want to kill somebody because they made my mixed race child feel less than? No, I don't want to go through that. And then yeah, it's just the whole how the white dude was like, oh, you being an angry black man. Like the moment my boyfriend said some slick shit that was even close to being racist, like I'm up out of there. I don't care if we've been together for 5 years, 5 months. I don't care. It's over. And it's like, why even get in a situation if I'm that sensitive? Like clearly I'm sensitive to racial issues, and it's just not a good idea for me personally. But I do get that you can't help who you fall in love with sometimes, and I don't knock it. Do you? It's just not for me personally. Although I do know that some people purposely seek out other races because they want mixed babies, or they have a lot of self-hatred within. That's another topic for another day. But this was interesting overall though. Y'all let me know what y'all thought, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.